Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a book that came out from Mongoose a couple weeks ago, Bounty Hunter. This is from Mongoose Traveler's second edition. We're going to go through it, and I'm going to say what I liked about it and what I liked about it. The Mongoose authors are Darren Drader, David Geimer, and Matthew Sprange. So this is brand new, just came out. The hardcover is not out yet, but the PDF is there. I'll put a link below. But everything you wanted to know about becoming a bounty hunter in the Traveler universe. Let me preface this with the fact there have been a couple of other bounty hunter offerings over the years for Traveler, but when hasn't there been something for Traveler? But this one kind of breathes some life into it and has a kind of a fresh take. So if you're looking to play the Mandalorian, you actually can using these rules. You can't play an actual Mandalorian because that's copywritten, but you get what I'm saying. So there we go. We're going to take a look at the introduction, the science fiction bounty hunter, where they even mention Star Wars, and from the Mandalorian and bounty hunter and Traveler. As I said, there have been a couple of offerings. I did a video a couple of years ago about the different offerings for bounty hunters and Traveler. So you have some definitions. The bounty is the amount of money being put on it. The hunter is the person hunting. The mark is the person you're after. Reputation is your reputation. Your reputation gets you your next job, and then the contract. And then how to referee bounty hunters, and then how to become a bounty hunter. Bounty hunter benefits with guild memberships. Nice artwork throughout, by the way. And the bounty hunter class itself, I always say class. The bounty hunter occupation itself. I will not be going into a tremendous detail on this because tomorrow's video is going to be about the occupation. Now we're going to talk about reputation. You can gain and lose reputation as a bounty hunter. And the reputation is what gets you your next job. So that was kind of neat. There's a lot of rules for reputation. It's another stat for a bounty hunter. And you need to maintain a high reputation to get those high-paying jobs. And then you can role-play your reputation. There's rules on how to do it, charts. Being a bounty hunter, you can be an independent, you can belong to a guild, corporation could employ you, you could take on patrons, and just a neat little showdown in the streets of some star town. Dead or alive contracts, contract work, how you're going to want to get your contract and set it up. Is the mark wanted dead or alive? Is it a big deal? Is it a little deal? Is this guy that skipped out on some alimony, or is this somebody who skipped out on their ship, or is this somebody wanted for some kind of genocide somewhere? They go all over that area, that scale, and you get the bail bondsman. Corporate, again, I recommend the movie Midnight Run because first off, it's a ripping good movie, and second, it's about bounty hunters. So Midnight Run, 88, I want to say, excellent film, Robert De Niro. And there's a little contract generator, so if you got a little time before the game starts, or if you're mid-game and you decide you need one, here's a chart. You can roll up the bounty hunter, the contract for the bounty that you're looking for. It's a D66 chart, and then we got other ones and complications. This had a little flavor of the Traveler card game, as far as here's your contract, here's your complication, go fulfill it. That is the crux of the Traveler card game. So it felt a little like that. Okay. Then the contracts themselves. So here's some sample contracts that you can just plug into your game. So again, if you're that GM with little or no time, and who of us isn't, this is a great way you can just stick in a contract and your bounty hunter can be off. Let me say a few words about bounty hunter in a campaign. I've run campaigns with bounty hunters back when we were playing GURPS Traveler. There was a bounty hunter. I don't even know if it was the actual bounty hunter that was released from GURPS because that came out pretty late in GURPS. I think it was just one we adapted. But in any case, player wanted to play a bounty hunter. So I said, sure. And I set them all up, and he was a definite bounty hunter. But what I found very quickly was, as a bounty hunter, it kind of took over the campaign. We were either on his job looking for his mark, or he was doing not much of anything. So if you're going to do a campaign, I'd recommend a couple of ways of doing it. One, mix him with the regular travelers, that's fine, but then focus on one or the other for your individual games. So if you're planning on a bounty hunter game and the rest of the travelers are involved and they'll get a cut of the bounty, that can be a lot of fun. But if you're going to do a regular traveler game, prepare your bounty hunter player and let him know, hey, by the way, this is not going to be a contract. This is going to be a straight traveler adventure, so that he knows what's going on. It can be a tricky balancing act. Another way you can do it is everybody's a bounty hunter, where you are part of a team and you have 4 players and all 4 are bounty hunters. That could be a lot of fun. I have never done that, but it could be a lot of fun. So anyway, here's some sample contracts, all written up with some complications. And then you just keep going. There's Honest Jeb. He's wanted for illegal surveillance. He's using surveillance to blackmail people. They put together some money and they want him brought in, and more importantly, the evidence brought back with. And straight throughout, there's a bunch of different ones. I really like these. Some of these were sampled by Mongoose on Facebook. I think this is one of the better parts of the book, and I really enjoyed reading these. And you stay immersed in the bounty hunter world because you don't have stats on the characters. So this is a time where Mongoose did not include stats for the characters, and I think they made the right call. Although the UPP is supposed to be an in-game thing, I think it would have taken away from the fun of these bounties if they had done that. So well done, Mongoose. And then we're going to continue on the rest of these. Counterfeiter, the Brawler. This guy I would have liked to have seen stats for, not that Mongoose should have, but this guy is known for killing people with his fists in bar fights, and that's what he's wanted for. I kind of wanted to see him statted out. He's got to have like brawling 5 and a 12 strength and maybe some dirty tricks. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an interesting one. And then we get a bunch of these in here, which I really enjoyed. And somebody who broke out of prison. One last job. And a whistleblower that's wanted back by the corporation. And there's some morality in these too. You have to decide if you want to bring that rich industrialist daughter back to her life where she's about to be basically married off for profit from daddy. Do you bring her back to that, or do your morals enter the picture? And maybe you don't fulfill the contract. And a lot of these have moral implications, which I liked. It leads to great role playing. And let's see. Refereeing bounty hunter campaigns, the moral quandary, as I was just discussing. Yes, that could be a big part of your campaign. Do we fulfill the bounty knowing that the whistleblower wanted by the corporation is wanted for stealing their secrets, but their secrets include all kinds of illegal activities? Do we turn her over? Do we go to the court, the actual authorities? Do we trust the authorities? There's lots of role-playing in there. Are they truly a villain? And then, of course, the space western, because this bounty hunting leads itself to that. Going to the seedy underworld. Recurrent character is very important in a bounty hunter campaign. If you're going to do bounty hunters, you need people that they're going to meet and then meet again. This book has a very Firefly feel to it, and I don't mean that in any way as a negative comment. Firefly is a great show, and I like anything in Traveler that kind of captures the same flavor. And of course, I realized Firefly was capturing Traveler's flavor. Now we get some equipment. I was pleased to see this. I wasn't really expecting much specialized equipment. We get some, and it's pretty interesting. So we take a look at the equipment and bounty hunter identifications, which I really liked. I liked that these were included. Now we get some vehicles, which did surprise me as well. I wasn't really thinking about that. I thought, you just use whatever's on world. But here's a stealth G-bike for you. Submersible command hub for those water worlds for the bounty. And then high guard for the bounty hunter, which was pretty neat too. We get the Coyote, which is a 100-ton, basically a modified scout. We get the Montreal, which is a really weird-looking ship, but I like that a lot. The Poignard, however you say that word. The budget bounty. Retrofit launch for those in-system bounties. Retrofit pinnace, still staying in system. And then different agencies that might employ you as a bounty hunter. So we get Horizon Bounties. This was a pretty interesting one. I liked it. Shadow Sun. They all have their pros and cons, which is really nice, really well brought out. And then Standard Alliance Bank, Vigil, Order of the Dove and Thorn. This is kind of interesting. It's a noble with virtually infinite money and her own sense of right and wrong. She runs a bounty hunter group, but they only take bounties that basically pass her muster. Kind of interesting. I like that, and there's more about her later in the book. Safe houses, hideouts, and bases of operation. Very useful. I was hoping we'd see something like this in here, and we do. There we got the Contail host ship. So we get another ship used as a base. SMH LZY55N, a maintenance droid there. It's a remote base. We have Rakkar the Sly's Corsair base. I like this one, and most of these bases can be used anywhere. They're not giving necessarily specific areas, but I like this Corsair base. There's some pretty neat stuff in there. Kashi Rover is part of the base. Armored G Carrier. Idle Downport where there's bounties on the edge of the Imperium. And then we have the Grand Yacht Electrum, and this is where our Margaret Yoti Shumshar, Home Away from Home, the lady that is very rich and picks her own bounties, running her own agency, she's based out of her own yacht. So I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of role-playing to be had there. And then we got a nice Scoundrels Gallery. People that you might meet, not necessarily bounties, but people you might meet in the course of being a bounty hunter, which I thought was also a great touch, and they're all fully statted. I love that. Again, you're a GM, you're in a hurry, the last thing you want to do is take a couple minutes to jot up a traveler character. They're not hard to write up on the fly, and my security guards are basically all 7s across the board, and have gun 1 or whatever the scenario calls for, but it's still a time saver if you just have them to refer to in the book. And then we go to get some more of these folks. Contacts and adversaries, which I also liked. Ton in here to actually flesh out the role-playing session. And then we get the index. And you think, oh, well, that's all you get for 162 pages. Wrong! There's an add-on to this. Mongoose must have heard me complaining about not having any posters or anything like that. They've added some posters to this, so I'll go to those right now. And here you go, wanted posters. I like these. A lot of these posters are touched on in the text. This is a separate addendum. I can't show them the correct way because they'll just flip-flop on my tablet, but these are definitely something that might entice me to buy the actual hard copy of the book. So we have Mr. Smiggles, a missing pet, which I just loved. And Honest Jeb, and all these wanted posters, they just help with role-playing immersion, especially when you can just print one of these guys out, throw it on the table in front of your players, and say, here you go, this is who you want. So these are all tied to what's in the book, which is really nice. And you're thinking, oh, that's fantastic for what's in the book. Uh-oh, has Mongoose let me down again? No, they haven't. They've given us some blanks. Yes, blank wanted posters for us. Blank bounty hunter IDs, which I just absolutely love. And then License to Kill, you're a certified bounty hunter, all kinds of stuff. So lots of little gems and items for your players. I love throwing stuff like this in front of my players and letting them just kind of take a look at it, touch, feel, and get an idea, hey, this is what's really like in the universe. So accolades to Mongoose on this. I think this was good. Overall, I think the book was a home run. I think Mongoose nailed it with this book. I really enjoyed it. There's not really much to grumble about, aside from a few typos, but those happen. Overall, just a very enjoyable book, well worth the read. And as I said, with those wanted posters, I am a little tempted to pick this guy up in hardcover instead of just having it in the electronic format. But that's all I've got today for Bounty Hunter, the new offering from Mongoose Traveler. Let me know what you think, and any experiences you've had playing bounty hunters or running them in your game. Maybe you're going to go ahead and do a bounty hunter campaign based off of this book. You could easily, and there's lots of material in here. You wouldn't really even need to create anything. You could do it straight out of this book. So that's all I've got for today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please take a look at the Patreon and help me out there. And I'll see you next time on page 121.